So why students will opt for SPJIMR PGDM? Like what are the key USPs of this program?
Okay. Before I guess starting with the program, let me introduce SPJIMR as an institution to the audience, like what kind of a credibility this SPJIMR brings over, and then why they should be opting for this program. SP Jain Institute of Management and Research, and in short form, we call it as SPJIMR. We belong to Bharati Vidya Bhavan Trust. Bharati Vidya Bhavan Trust was founded in 1938, now almost closing to 85 years in this education space, having many schools and many colleges worldwide, present in almost 7 continents. SPGen happens to be part of this group, and we established in 1981 as a management college. In 81 till 1992, I guess we were affiliated to University of Mumbai, providing a 2 years full-time degree known as MMS degree. Later on in 1992, we became an standalone B school, which was coming under approval of AICTE. And this program, we have to give them a degree as called as a PGDM degree as a standalone B school. So since 1992, we have been providing this degree. Now, as far as SPJIMR credibility is concerned, we have been consistently ranked as top 5 institutions in India. You take them any of the major, rankings, whether it's India Today or say MB Universe or take it out Business Today. Lot of ranking agencies or publications have been ranking us in top 5 consistently. Recently, in the last 2 years, we have been established as number one B school in India as per the Financial Times ranking, and that is MIM ranking for this 2 years full-time program. And globally, we are ranked right now for this year as 35th rank. Now, why these rankings are so high, or why we are always considered to be in top 5? Because of certain parameters what we are including in this program. Now, having said this, these two the two programs what we are offering as of now, it's called as PGDM and PGDM BM. Now, PGDM has been started since 1981, and earlier it was called as I said earlier, it was called as MMS, and later on we called it as a PGDM. So this program, our vision, our guidelines is very clear. What we are trying to prepare, what we are trying to give to the corporate world is very clearly, we are not only developing a business leader, but we are developing a socially sensitive global business leader. When I use this word globally, a socially sensitive global business leader, we mean it in our curriculum also. Now, it's a 2 years program, and 2 years full time. In fact, it's a called as a 2 years full time residential program. So any candidate who is opting for this program, they will have to stay in the campus for these 2 years. And in these 2 years, we have a multiple modules through what we complete our tagline, what we say, socially sensitive global business leader. In these 2 years, our students are supposed to mentor the underprivileged students in the nearby vicinity of Andheri. Our campus is located in Andheri in Mumbai. So we, as a module, as a center of called as Abhyudya, we ask students, they have to be getting the credits and everything. So they will be mentoring underprivileged students so that they give them the human values, human angles. Whenever they are planning to high up in the ladder, they will understand these human values, what kind of, the toughness and this kind of the challenging life, what other people might be having. So they will be taking, it will make them a better decision maker when it comes to human angle. Second, we have a DOCC. It's a development of corporate citizen, Department of Corporate Citizens. So here we give them an exposure to the rural part of the India. So our students will be visiting the rural areas where they will be understanding the rural problems, some of the management concepts, whatever they are learning, possibility they might be applying over there successfully, and they will be gaining that kind of an exposure. And still in India, we very clearly say like majority of the population is still is connected to the rural part of India rather than urban part of India. So as a business leader, they need to understand these rural aspects also. Third, we have a global immersions where we call it as a GFT, Global Fast Track, and where students get an exposure to the foreign the culture. Some of the modules will be learned over there, and they get an exposure of the international completely over there. And the fourth part happens to be the summer internship, the industry internship, what we say. So with these aspects, they will be completing this entire module of socially sensitive global business leader. So that is the one of the unique standing point of SPJIMR's PGDM program.
SPJIMR discusses a holistic approach to leadership development and an innovative blend of classroom learning with thoughtfully curated immersive experience. Can you please give insights on that?
Yeah, so this I was explaining, like, what kind of an immersive experience we have. One, as I said, like, when the students go for the rural internship, so they will be getting to visit some of the very, very remote areas where there might be possibility even the electricity has not reached in many parts of the India. So how the problems they are facing and what kind of a management concepts can be applied over there, so that they can solve the real life problems rather than industry problems, but also they can solve some kind of a social problems also. That is one part. When it comes to the industrial exposure, the global exposure, sorry, the industrial exposure, when we talk about, our students get a lot of internships in live projects to be done with the corporates, and many a times these live projects happens to be getting converted into the pre-placement offer also. And the third part, when you talk about the global immersion, so many of our students through global fast track, they will be getting certain modules which will going to be covered in the foreign university. The lectures and everything will be done, the credits and everything will be done at the foreign, the whatever the tie-up we are having. The tie-up, we have some kind of a top B schools like Cornell, we have Michigan State University. So with them, certain modules will be completed and they get the credits over for that itself. So a lot of exposures and insights will be given to them on all the areas whatever we have spoken, whether it's a rural, it's an industry, or it's a global area.
So, sir, this will be the like I can say the student perspective also, that what will the outcome of the PGDM program of SPJIMR.
Yeah, so outcome is very clearly what we say, the tagline. We not only nurture or say produce the business leaders for the corporate, but we produce the socially sensitive global business leader for the corporates.
Okay. So, in is shortlisting for this course simply based on CAT and GMAT scores, or there is more to this? Kindly explain, please.
Okay. For shortlisting part, we have a very, very unique way of shortlisting. Now, of course, when you talk about the scores parts, we accept only two scores. One happens to be the CAT entrance exam, and the second part happens to be our GMAT entrance exam. A majority of the candidates who are, especially the international candidates, they will be opting for a GMAT entrance exam with a score. So GMAT we have kept, I guess, around 3 years of validity, though the GMAT score is acceptable for 5 years, but we take the last 3 years of score. And both the scores are acceptable, whether it's a classic, the older version, or the newest version of what we have, GMAC. But now it's no more will be called as differentiated different way, but it will be the same one. So both the GMAT versions are acceptable, and the CAT will be only for that particular year. For example, right now, our applications are open for 2025-27 batch. So the CAT 24 will be applicable for this particular batch itself. We can't accept CAT 23 or 22. So the current year CAT will be acceptable for the current batch. Yeah, you are on mute, Ankita.
So the selection process mentioned sorting candidates in two groups, which is profile based and second is profile come score based. So can you explain this too?
Yeah. So we come up with a two kind of a shortlisting. One happens to be the profile-based shortlisting, where we check out certain profiles of the candidates, which include certain parameters. One is your academic background, which includes their 10th, 12th level, and the graduation level, whatever the marks they have scored, the academic angle. Second part happens to be the work X. Of course, if somebody is having a work X, they will be getting some kind of an additional advantage, but the relevant work X, that is more important. Third, we check out there is scores later on. Obviously, the CAT score or GMAT score will be taken into consideration. Fourth will be your achievements, the kind of an achievements and what you have got, the versatility, what we talk about. If a candidate might be having some kind of an extracurricular activities or achievements we talk about, or co-curricular activities, that will be taken into consideration. So this will be the parameters of profile-based shortlisting. Now, many of the times candidates have a very good profile and they get shortlisted. Normally the profile-based shortlisting comes before the CAT results are out. So that is the first list. And there will be certain candidates who are having a good profile, but they are just not able to make it out, in a standalone profile-based shortlisting. So in that case, a certain scores will be pushing them, giving them an upper edge. So that's the reason we come up with the second shortlisting once the CAT results are out. So we call it as a profile come score based shortlisting. So these are the two shortlistings which will be done. And obviously, why we are doing so? Because we are able to complete our applications and everything before CAT exams are done. So just 2 days before the CAT exam, like this time it is 24th of November. So our application form will close on 22nd of November. So candidate will have to apply so that we can do all this processing part of profile shortlisting in advance, and we are able to make it on time. Yeah.
Okay. So, as you have mentioned, that work experience is one of the key parameter of the selection process. So, wouldn't this put fresher at a disadvantage, or is there a ratio for the non-experienced and the experienced applicants?
Okay. So good you ask this question, because this question happens to be the major concern whenever who is applying for SPJMR. So WorkX, definitely people do get an advantage. But having said that, we always believe in the quality WorkX. I will not prefer a candidate who will have a just for the namesake having a 2 or 3 years kind of an experience, but it might be not relevant. So obviously it will be not be selected for that matter. I mean to say, but WorkX definitely do play an important role. Having said that, it doesn't discourage or say doesn't mean that a fresher or a candidate just passing out or just who is in final year of graduation should not apply. We have seen lot many students, lot many cases, in fact, which whom I have been knowing and interacting. So we have seen a lot many students who are a fresher, but definitely it is all based on the merit basis. There is no certain kind of a quota or limitations, whether it is like as you mentioned, like do we have some kind of a ratios where we mention like certain work experience guys only will have to be shortlisted, or only say 20% of freshers has to be shortlisted. No, it's very clear it is going to be always purely based on the merit basis. Whoever qualifies will qualify. Now having said this, very clearly I encourage students. I have come across lot many sessions when I have been taking in the colleges, where people didn't have a right knowledge or the right guidance, that even if you're as a fresher, you can go ahead and you can apply. They were just not aware, and having a very good percentile of 98, 99 percentile, they have missed out to apply. But having said that, please do not consider that way, that we have clearly mentioned in our eligibility criteria also, as a fresher also you are eligible to apply. There is nothing as such that we prefer only WorkX, but there is definitely a limitation. Up to 5 years of WorkX only, the candidate should be applying for this PGDM program. That is the limitation what we have said, but there is no quota, nothing as such that certain percentage of students will be preferred. Yeah.
Okay, sir. So, does each parameter in the selection process carry some weightage?
Yeah. Definitely, if all these parameters has been listed, so we do give some kind of a weightage, but this weightage are never disclosed in outside world. So the reason why we have a very clear cut reason why we are not giving certain kind of a weightage or marks disclosed outside. The reason is very clear. If I say 2 to 3 years of work experience, so person might be getting out of 10, he might be getting say 8 or 9 marks, and up to 4 and 5 years he might be getting 6 or 7 marks. So automatically people will start calculating, and they will start wondering, if they're not shortlisted, oh, I just meet the criteria, so why I'm not shortlisted? So it's never the case. As I said, it is more important we look at the overall profile. The person's profile during the WorkX is more important, and even the academics, what kind of an academic achievement under what circumstances he has achieved, is more important. So rather than giving a direct weightage, we evaluate each and every profile in thorough, in detail, so that we can get the best of the best candidates for our batch.
Okay, sir. So, shortlisted candidates are usually called for an interview in January to February. So, what does SPJIMR assess and look for the candidates?
Okay. Um, Now again, yeah, we do call them for the interview, that a physical interview, what we are going to conduct. And like last year, we have come with a completely physical module. So we are conducting in 4 cities: Delhi, Mumbai, Kolkata, and Bangalore. These 4 cities we are conducting these interviews. In interviews, we have two rounds of interviews. So round one happens to be more, I will say, the technical part. SPGen again happens to be very unique B school in the country. At the time of application itself, we ask candidates to um, you know select their specializations what they want to do go for. Like in PGDM we have a four specializations: marketing, finance, information management, supply chain and operations. And in PGDM BM happens to be business management. It's a general management what we talk about. It's a general focus what we talk about. So people will have, the candidate will have to apply, select which specialization they are opting for, and accordingly their shortlisting will be done for the interviews. And they can, as a student, they can give two preferences: preference one and preference two. So the first round will be based on whatever the preferences they have given. It might be finance along with marketing. So the panelists will be evaluating based on that. In that, we obviously check it out what kind of a knowledge the students is having during his graduation days, what kind of an extra effort he has taken when he is shortlisting, when he's opting for specialization. So what kind of a clarity he's having about his choice of field. If he opts for say finance, obviously finance related questions are expected for him. He can't simply say, no, no, I have chosen finance, I have no clue, but I'm an engineer, so I have no clue. Somebody has said like, okay, you're good at numbers, so you can go ahead and do finance. It's not that way. So obviously he needs to do some kind of an homework. We clearly check it out how much the focus the candidate is all about for his future. So round one will focus on that, but that's the technical part. And round two happens to be more on the human angle, we can say, understanding the person's psychology, whether he will be the right fitment or not. Some kind of tricky questions can be asked to him so that we can check it out. His kind of an ethics, the behavioral and everything will be checked out in the second round. That's a two round of interviews what we do, and both these rounds will be done on the same day itself. The once you are shortlisted for the round one, and after shortlisting of the round one, you'll be shortlisted for the round two. So on the same day, your both the rounds will be conducted in the same vicinity.
Okay, so sir, as you have mentioned that about the specialization, so my next question will be: students can like take their specialization or indicate their specialization in the time of interview process, or what? Like, what is the process for that?
No, specialization they have to select at the time of application itself.
Okay.
Based on that only we shortlist them for the interview. So that's a very clear cut. That's the reason I said like SPJIMR happens to be very unique selection process where candidates will have to select their specialization in advance at the time of application itself. Then the interview shortlisting will be done. Afterwards, the admission offer letter will be done based on the whether I find him the right fit for the preference one, say he has preferred for marketing, or he is right fitment for the finance, say preference two. So accordingly, the admission offer letter will be released. Now, having said that, many times it has come across a certain kind of a cases where candidate has taken admission in say finance as a whatever the choice he has made, and during the course of a time in say first semester itself, he realized like, okay, finance was happens to be the good one, though I have made a choice, I have got admission in the finance part, but marketing seems to be more interesting for me. But do I have a provision to change the stream right now? Yes, there is a provision to change the stream in the due course of a time, when because our first year happens to be the general one, second year happens to be the specialization one. So in second year he can change the specialization, provided he will have to again he has to apply with an interest why he wants to shift the specializations. There is a panel member, there is a panel which will be evaluating the candidates, the reason why he's planning to shift the changes what he wants to do for his specializations. If panelist finds like, okay, it is justified, so there is a provision that he can change the specializations. But having said that, I would again suggest for the candidates, please avoid such kind of thinking like I can change this my specialization later on also. That might be just a possibility of the panelist agreement and the number of seats available at that point of time. So too many pros and cons will be there at that point of time. So to avoid such things, be focused what specialization you want to do at the start of your MBA program.
So how is the program structure designed? So can you please describe that?
Okay, so we do have a it's a as I said, like it's a 2 years completely program. So in the first year, as I said, like you are going to learn all the modules of the whatever the functional areas of a business are required, whether it's a marketing, finance, operation, supply chain, information management. Nowadays analytics have come up, so even that will be a part of the selection process. Then this candidates will go for a summer internship, which happens to be a 2 months kind of an internship. And once they're back, they will be getting into the specialization module. So that's the third semester onwards. They'll be getting into the detail on a specialization part. We do a lot of case study. Obviously, they're learning really more through case studies, and a lot of industry guest lectures will be happening. Then afterwards, the final placements will be happening in somewhere in third semester itself. The final placements will start, and by the end of the fourth year, almost everybody will have the placements and they will join the company. So that is the way how the structure is going to happen. In this structure itself, they are going to manage. One is, I said, like at the start, the Abhyudaya. Abhyudaya is a center which takes care of all the underprivileged students. What kind of mentoring has to be done by our candidates, so they get to know, that there is a certain credits which are given to them. So somebody as a underprivileged students might be weak in mathematics, studying in seventh standard, and some are for students, he might be very good in mathematics, and probably he can mentor that person for this mathematics or physics or whatever subject he happens to be given. And after 1 year, second year, this we call them as sitaras, so they will be handed over to the next batch. That is the way how the learning process will happen for them. Then we have this, as I said, rural internship, so that will be also done in the first semester itself, and that will be conducted. And we have a ADMAP committee. That's a very unique again concept in SPJIMR, where we form a committee for the different functional areas, like say communications, marketing, the admissions, and lot many other stuff, administration, where people learn without having a designated kind of a power, how these people are able to exercise their managerial powers over there, how they're going to organize it. It's like a on the job training. What we do, if we do it through ADMAP committee itself. So that is also part of a curriculum in this 2 years span of time. And we have an index also, where the international exchange and everything will be done in during these periods, where certain people will be opting for outside and somebody will be coming from abroad also to our campus itself. Yeah.
Okay. So can students pick up other specialization electives in addition to their focus specialization areas?
I guess there will be some kind of an electives which are always there as a specialization part. So that electives is a part of a curriculum itself, which they can always select it depending on the options given to them. It is not going to be the open for everybody. Like marketing, they will have certain kind of an electives which might be the limited one, whatever is there, that will be opted for them. So they can choose it from there, from their electives options, whatever is remaining.
Okay. So, how are the new training management specialization incorporated into the curriculum? For example, business, data analytics, AI, ML, etc., are now more popular areas students look for generally. So,
Yeah, no, definitely. As a progressive B school, we have to include all these things. And today's we are living in a world of a Chat GPT and all these things. In fact, Chat GPT is also getting nowadays, overused. So definitely AI and ML, all these parts are going to be the part of a curriculum. How to use it, very much we are going to, train the students. So analytics and all this part, we don't have a specializations, but certainly these modules are going to be covered each and every specializations. These are the latest technologies which you have to utilize it. So AI without marketing, or how to use AI in marketing, obviously is going to make us a lot of sense. So our candidates should be able to prepare themselves for the next future requirements of the industry. So very much it is a part of our curriculum, and we do include all this latest stuff during our training purpose and our case studies and everything which we are teaching them. We are including all this latest stuff.
what are global fast track and international exchange like?
Yeah. So global fast track happens to be the 3 weeks international immersion. What we say, we call it as it's a more famous as a GFT kind of a stuff at our campus. So where students this year onwards, we have kept it as an optional for every student, where students go, like for example, if they have gone for 3 years, 3 weeks. GFT. So student will be going there and studying certain mini term, what we call as a mini term, or certain modules which will be taught by the cornell faculty in their campus itself, with some kind of a latest industrial tool will be also happening over there. So this gives them a lot of exposure over there. So certain credits might be also given for that particular program itself. So this year we have kept it optional, but earlier till date it was mandatory for everybody. So student will be going for this particular exposure. Second happens to the intex program, that is a international exchange, student exchange program. So again, whatever the partner B schools we have partnered, so some of the institutions, some of the students come over here to learn the certain modules at our campuses. They get exposure to the Indian stuff, and they definitely, those students do participate in what kind of a cultural events or some kind of an activities which are happening on the campus. That's like completely, getting immersed over here as in the Indian B school also. And similar way, our students also go to that particular foreign stuff, and they will be having some kind of a lectures and everything getting exchange over there. So both the things are available at our campus, and it all depends upon the students' interest for which they are opting for.
Okay. So what about the fees incurred for this? Please give the details. Like,
Okay, the course fee happens to be different for different kind of a candidates. So one is our Indian candidates. The course fee for this PGDM BM program happens to be 22.5 lakhs. That is again tentative figure for last year what we have mentioned. This year it might be get revised. This doesn't include their global fast track or student exchange. That will be additional. We can say maybe for GFT it might be additionally 4 to 5 lakhs might be additional cost which will incur, because that is the fees, and travel and everything will be other part. Uh, this 22.5 lakhs happens to be our complete fees for the 2 years. That includes our residential also. And the residential, as I said, like we are present in Mumbai and Andheri, so that residential cost is also included in this fees itself.
so which are the partner institutes for the exchange program?
There are many. As I said, like there is a Cornell, there is a we have Michigan State University. We have now I will not remember every now name, but we have a lot of partnership with various. NCR is one of them, and so lot many top B schools across the globe, whether it's in US or Europe or UK, wherever whichever the countries are there. So we have collaborated with the topmost B schools. They will be having a better ranking. They will be triple crown accreditations. A lot of parameters are included when we get into the partnership. So we have a collaborated with them, and those kind of B schools, this GFT or Saintex programs will be done with them.
Okay. So who can apply for the merit cum means based final financial assistance?
Okay, okay. Yeah. See, now as a candidate, we want to encourage students to apply, even if they are coming from any of the different background. The scholarship is always an encouragement for the candidates for their whatever they have done. So it's a reward kind of a thing what we do. We do have a provision. We provide a scholarship worth rupees almost 2 CR for every year. And this happens to be called as a merit cum means scholarship. Now, merit cum means it's very clearly, merit is obviously checked out through the ways of, one is their academic angle, their work ethics, their achievements, whatever they have done, that will be taken into consideration. And second part will be the what kind of a financial, there is some kind of an eligibility which will be mentioned in the form itself, like the annual income of the family happens to be less than some XYZ limit will be there, and then the person will be applying. So this will be the application which they have to apply separately somewhere in the month of July once they take admission at SPJIMR. And then once they complete their admission formalities and everything, they will have to apply a separate application. There is a panel who will be evaluating this entire application. Depending on the requirement and other things, they will be awarding this thing. So ours is a scholarship will be getting rewarded. It's not like a waiver in the fees. It is going to be rewarded to the candidate, deserving candidates.
Okay. So as we all know that practical and hands-on experience is one of the key feature of any management program. So how SPJN like incorporate this in their course structure?
Very much we have included all these structures, because that is the was one of the reason why we parted our ways with the University of Mumbai to become a standalone B school, so that we can freely incorporate the changes what is required at the industries, and what is required by them we can include in our curriculum itself. So our learning, our teaching will be through case studies. The case studies are not simply downloaded from XYZ free sites, but it is developed by certain top-notch the faculty members who are having a lot of industry exposure. So they are the people who are coming with this all kind of an exposure, and they are making them learn through case studies and other stuff. So we give them the completely practical exposure. A lot of industry guest lectures will be happening with the candidates, and uh, uh, the top-notch kind of a case studies, the kind of a participations, the competitions where they will be participating. So lot of exposures are them. It's a completely full of life, vibrant life at SPJIMR campus. It is never going to be a dull environment of just simply attending the lectures and just making the presentation and done. It's a complete exposure what these students are getting. So not only in terms of curriculum and all these things, but even apart from this, they are able to manage their certain events on their own, where doesn't require any kind of help from any of our other sources, other resources. So they're going to manage that, give them a complete exposure of managing the entire stuff.
So what are the key benefits for students of SPJIMR PGDM program?
Key benefits. See, there will be always a benefit. Now, Indian B schools happens to be the major benefit. What I have to speak about over here is, the moment anybody is planning to do an MBA, the first parameter of selection any B school will be the placements. So I am sure the placements clearly we are in top five in India, and as of now we are having a 33 lakhs as an average package, and 81 happens to be the highest package, or that is a domestic level. So that kind of a package is very clearly and make them understand the major benefit, what we say, the whether they call it as an ROI term, or whether whatever I'm spending, am I able to get a decent profile and job or not. So that is a major benefit what they're getting. Along with this, when I said, like, at the start itself, like what we are trying to make these leaders, the future leaders, we are making them socially sensitive global business leader, and we mean it by various curriculum and everything. So when I say, whenever they are going to be heading the corporates and certain, maybe they are starting their own venture, they will always have a human angle to decide. Whenever they are taking a decision, they are not going to be a profit oriented always, where maybe laying off is the best solution. That might not be the case, but they will evaluate on all the parameters, come up with the nice and the best solution which can give them the best benefit. So a lot of benefits will be there. They obviously they make a great network, they have a great alumni exposure, and our alumni definitely help them out. So a lot of exposures, a lot of benefits will be there. They enjoy this dual alumni status. So every year we have alumni meets in various cities. So networking is one of them, the benefit what they will be getting after passing out from the campus also.
So, can you just kindly tell us about the placement statistics and top recruiters, packages, and the role of the students they get into?
Yeah. So when we talk about this kind of the placements, as I said, like it is highest has been 33 lakhs as an average package. 81 happens to be our we talk it up as 81 as uh, highest package, and 33 happens to be the average package. Now this is a batch intake of 360 students, including the PGDM and the PGDM BM. Now, why we have been able to maintain is one, the kind of candidates we have been able to give it to our corporate. It's a repeat. What we talk about, the repeat recruitment keeps on happening. So you talked on the consulting, top consulting companies, or you just name them, McKinsey or BCG or Accenture, Deloitte, PwC, KPMG, or Medtronic, or say L&T. So all this kind of companies which are there listed, the whatever we talk about, yes, they are coming to our campus, and they do this kind of recruitments. Now it has been repeated one, and why this they have been able to repeat, because our candidates, they have been able to really perform well as per their expectations. So that's the reason our placements happens to be one of the best one, and we haven't faced any kind of a difficulty in terms of placing our students. But though I will again advise to the candidates, please do not consider B schools as a placement agency. We are facilitating these placement activities, but we are not the so-called guarantee is not happening. But yes, this is some kind of facilitations what we are doing now.
So, you have already mentioned about the alumni. So, can you just help us know about how does alumni help the students, the right now who are like pursuing the course right now?
Okay. Yeah. So when we talk about this alumni network, we have more than now, close to something almost 15,000 kind of alumni network what we are having. Now, they mentor them from each and every ways. One is the aspirants who are now planning to get into SPJIMR. They will be trying to reach out to the current students through LinkedIn and various other platforms, in the digital platforms. They might be reaching out to certain alumni who have passed out out and doing somewhere else, they will try to get the guidance from them, how they can help them out, what kind of questions they have written, how the profile is getting evaluated. So starting from admission till the time of placements, they will be there who will be helping them out. Second, even after the placements and everything is done, we have a network group which has been formed on various platforms, whether it's a WhatsApp or whether it's a some kind of a other platform forum. So if anybody has some kind of a requirements here, they keep on posting the like so and so job opportunities are there, somebody's looking out for some kind of a help, they must have started their own entrepreneurship, and they might seek an advice of an experts in some other domain. They might be putting up that kind of an opportunities. So a lot of ways through alumni reach out to the juniors or the subordinates, and in among themselves also they will keep on creating some kind of an opportunities, and they will keep on doing the networking part. So it's a many ways, not only from admission. After admission also, it takes lot of help is provided from them.
Okay. So last, like one last question. So any advice for the prospective management students for this year?
Uh, I guess advice will be something. Maybe I'm sure. Like I have to just repeat what advice. I'm sure they are aware. They're aware about the stuff. One is SPJIMR. Um, our application process happens to be slightly different. As I said, like because we are completely focused is something different where we focus on the profile. So write your responses in the question and application form, whatever is there. Give it a good thought. Give it a best shot. Write it down as much as possible so that you can explain yourself very well. That is the only way through which we can evaluate as a candidate, and then only we can shortlist you. So first advice, please write your fill up your application form in a very sophisticated and methodical way, and give as much inputs. Whatever you can write it down, please write as much as possible. Second, uh, please do not decide on your own whether I'm having a work X or not, and whether I will be getting shortlisted or not. If you're not going to apply and not going to give a try, then of course you will not be shortlisted. So don't go with the mindset of oh, you are not having work X means do not apply, you are not going to be shortlisted. Or don't go with this kind of notions and other things. So please, my advice will be, please go ahead, apply, participate in the application, in the process and the selection process, and let us decide whether the profile is good or bad that way. So that is the to advise only what I can say. And at this point of time, of course, CAT is nearing now. It is less than a month left now for them, so they will have to focus more on CAT exam. But remember, 2 days before our exam, our application form will get closed. So my again one more advice will be, please fill up your application form as early as possible. Do not wait for the last moment. That's the only thing I can say now.
Thank you so much, sir. It is a nice informative session with you.
Yeah.
Thank
Thank you, Ankita. Thank you so much.